Hi there. If you use an insulin pump, you know the pre-travel anxiety. It's a constant loop of what ifs. What if my pump just dies when I'm away? What if airport security is a nightmare? I've learned these lessons the hard way over the past 43 years. So today I'm sharing my 5 essential travel hacks I wish I knew sooner. These will help you trade that anxiety for confidence and stick around for the last one. It's a simple choice that makes your entire travel day run smoother. So when you have type 1 diabetes, trip prep isn't just about packing it. It's about packing the literal life support system that keeps you going. I've had smooth trips, and I've had trips that have gone sideways. I'll never forget being stuck in the window seat with the seatbelt sign on mid-flight when my infusion site got ripped out. My supplies were just out of reach. But those stressful moments taught me exactly what to do and what not to do. So you don't have to learn the same way I did. By the way, the flight attendant helped me out. It all starts with a simple packing philosophy and list that will save you from 99% potential disasters before you even leave the house. So let's get to the tips. Tip number 1, double everything. My first rule is non-negotiable. Pack double of everything. Literally. If you're going away for a week, you pack for 2 weeks. That means double the infusion sets, double the reservoirs, double the sensors, and most critically, double the insulin. It might feel like overkill when you're packing, but it's the ultimate key to peace of mind. And here's how you pack it. All of it goes in your carry-on bag. Never ever put insulin in a checked bag. And by the way, most airliners will let you bring an extra carry-on bag just for your medical stuff. The cargo hold can get cold enough to freeze your insulin. And we all know luggage gets lost. But to take it one step further, I split my supplies between 2 carry-on bags. My roller bag that I put up above, and a backpack. So if the one bag gets lost or I can't reach it, I'm still completely covered with the backpack right in front of me. So now your bags are perfectly packed, but what good is it if you can't get them through security? My next tip gives you word for word script that makes this process completely stress-free. So tip number 2, how do you get through airport security without a massive headache? You need a game plan. Airport security can be the biggest source of anxiety. As you approach the TSA officer, you need to be the first one to speak. Before they can tell you what to do, you confidently say, "Hi, pull out your pump. I'm wearing this thing. It's for my diabetes. And I also have a CGM." Don't be shy about it. Just tell them, "I need to opt out of the body scanner and x-ray." So pump manufacturers warn that these machines can damage the electronics. Now, I've gone through them and I've never had any issues, but stay on the safe side. Try to avoid it. So you have the right to request an alternative screening. They can't say no. And usually this means you'll just go through the metal detector. And then you'll do a simple pat down, a quick swab of your hand and your pump. Remember, you should never be asked to remove a medical device that's attached to your body, even though the pumps are quickly detachable. Getting through security is a huge relief, but it doesn't protect you from one scenario we dread most. Your pump stops working mid-trip. So that's never happened to me, but I always think about it. So my next hack turns that trip-ruining nightmare into a minor inconvenience. Tip number 3, the ultimate backup for a total pump failure. You've made it through security, but what about the scenario we dread the most? You're hundreds of miles from home and your pump literally just dies. A potential trip-ruining disaster into a minor inconvenience. You need a complete no-tech backup plan. I'm talking about going old school with long-acting insulin and pens or needles. This is pretty easy for me because I go back and forth quite frequently. But before any big trip, make sure you have long-acting insulin to take with you. I take Tresiba and a fast-acting pen. I have that in stock anyways because I switch back and forth. I also record my insulin injection regime on my phone, so I know correction factors, what doses to take. So if I switch to injections, it's easy to reference. But if not, write it down, put it in your carry-on bag. But even with a working pump and a backup plan, there's a hidden danger lurking at 30,000 feet. That sounds very mysterious. It could silently sabotage your blood sugar, and I'll tell you exactly how to fight it. Tip number 4, managing blood sugars at high altitudes. Even with working pump and a solid backup plan, there's something that can happen silently at 30,000 feet. As the plane climbs and cabin pressure changes, tiny air bubbles in your pump's reservoir can expand and push a small amount of insulin, unprogrammed, from your pump into your body. Then, as the plane descends, the opposite can happen, disrupting your insulin delivery. So it might result in some unpredictable lows and some unpredictable highs. So how do you handle this? Be diligent about getting all air bubbles out of your reservoir when you're filling it pre-travel. More importantly, keep an eye on your blood sugar more often during your flight, whether it's through finger sticks or, in my case, the CGM. And this leads to a critical side tip. Keep your low blood sugar snacks in your pocket. Trust me, you don't want to be in that situation. If you go too low, you need sugar immediately, you can just dig it out of your pocket and take it. But what if you can't get to your bag in the first place? Well, that brings me to my final tip. The simple choice I promised at the beginning that gives you the ultimate control over your flight. Tip number 5, the aisle seat advantage. Now, I know windows are nice to look out of because it's great scenery, but this final tip, simple choice, promised at the beginning, makes all the difference. Always book an aisle seat. This isn't about legroom, it's about control. And most of the time, I get up to pee more often due to my diabetes. So an aisle seat gives you immediate access to your carry-on bag as well. So if you do accidentally forget something, you can get access to it easy. Like in the case where mine got ripped out and I need to grab it. So you don't have to awkwardly climb over one or two people every time you have to access your supplies. So the mindset of controlling your environment starts even before you board the plane. So while you're waiting at the gate, use this time to walk around the terminal. Sitting for hours can lead to insulin resistance and high blood sugar. A little activity beforehand can go a long way in keeping your blood sugar stable in the air. These 5 strategies work together as a system for worry-free travel. Let's do a quick recap. Number 1, pack double of everything and split it between 2 carry-ons. Number 2, take control at the TSA security counter by being proactive and requesting a hand job. Number 3, carry a complete no-tech backup plan with long-acting insulin and written doses, whether it's on your phone or a piece of paper. Number 4, monitor your blood sugar closely in flight and keep your low blood sugar snacks in your pocket. And number 5, always book an aisle seat for stress-free access to your supplies. So traveling with an insulin pump requires planning, but it should never stop you from having an incredible trip. If you found these tips helpful, please give this video a like and subscribe. Now I want to hear from you. What's your number 1 game-changing travel tip for using a pump or traveling with diabetes in general? Drop a comment below so we can all learn from each other. Prevent lows and spikes while exercising with your pump? Watch this one now.